The giant Forky inspired project is complete. He measures 6 foot 4 inches. But if you don't want to watch the whole series, here's a recap for you. A really quick recap. Roll that footage. The first step was just to give him a good solid skeleton. I had originally chose to use an old paint roller and a handle for extra structure. Although it wasn't really necessary, I'm glad I did it. I built up the shape of what was originally intended to just be a spoon using cardboard until I got it to where I wanted. And then I used craft paper to cover all the openings. Then I coated the whole thing in spray foam. I used water to help me mold it a bit. After that, once it was cured, it was time to sand. And let me tell you, the sanding was a process. There were lots of great suggestions on ways that I could make this easier that I saw in my comments. So I'll likely try some of those on the next project. Then it was time to say goodbye to the spoon and hello to a spork. After using a hacksaw, I cleaned it up a bit, shaved even more off to get the look that I wanted, filled in the newly created holes, added more spray foam. Then I covered it in lightweight spackling, filling in some of the voids. I used the watered down version for the second coat, which smoothed it out a bit. Then a couple coats of wood glue were added. This created a nice shell and also gave it some extra durability. After giving it a light sanding, I coated it with Plastidip. Now, I feel this was unnecessary, but I wanted to try it as I had never used it before. Then I got to work on his base, which was built with just scrap wood. After that, I covered it with the same technique, filler, spray foam, spackling, and then glue. But instead of Plastidip, I just spray painted it. I used some spray foam to make the eyebrow and mouth. After the spackle, I added the glue, then spray painted, got them attached, and then messed around with the googly eyes, adding clock mechanisms to make them move. Once those were in place, I used resin for the appearance of glitter glue around his eyes. And then using half of a sphere silicone mold, I created his buttons with resin as well. The giant glitter is just chopped up tinfoil. I attached those using hot glue and then worked on the giant pipe cleaner, which took forever. It was made with yarn and wire, and then it was just a lot of cutting. I messed around with attaching it to his body, bending the hands and whatnot. I altered the color of his popsicle sticks a bit. Then I designed his rainbow sticker and put that on. And after that, it was time for a good trim. And I mean a really good trim. Like seriously. This was an hour and a half, and it was extremely messy. I didn't think it was ever going to end, but eventually it did, and I was extremely happy with the result. After that, it was time to finish up the project by adding the signature name on the bottom of his feet. After creating a blank canvas, I then painted it to look like broken popsicle sticks, mapped out Bonnie's name, and then painted it on there. And now, the giant Forky inspired project is complete. And that is why I do multiple videos. There's a lot. Keep sharing and reposting these videos to help me out. And as always, thanks so much for watching and stay crafty.